Welcome back to the deep dive. You ready to get a little smartassy?
Always up for a challenge.
Well, today we're diving into Smartass in Spanish.
Ooh,
It's this awesome Spanish course created by Vero.
I've heard good things.
Yeah, and she was kind enough to share a session with us.
Nice.
So we're going to be exploring how to, express your skills and tackle different tasks, but all with, that sassy Spanish flair.
Sounds fun. I'm ready to spice up my vocabulary.
Right. Let's jump right in.
Okay, so what's first on the agenda?
Well, Vero starts off
Mm-hmm.
by tackling the whole concept of success.
Interesting.
Yeah, she breaks it down into these categories, like personal, professional, financial.
Right.
It's like she's recognizing that success doesn't have a single definition.
I like that.
It really gets you thinking, doesn't it?
It does.
What does success actually mean to you?
Yeah, because it's so personal, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then the session goes right into teaching you how to actually express those achievements in Spanish. So both the good at something moments and the,
Not so good.
yeah, exactly, not so good moments.
I was hoping there'd be some of that.
And these aren't your typical textbook phrases.
I bet.
We're talking colorful idioms.
Ooh, now you're talking.
Love idioms.
Yeah. Like Vero's really giving you the insider's guide to sounding like a native speaker.
I'm all ears. What kind of phrases are we talking about?
Okay, so for when you're good at something,
Mhm.
she's got phrases like soy una crack, soy una fiera, or soy un hacha.
Okay, recognize soy. But what about the rest?
So they all basically mean you're amazing at something, like you rock at it.
Gotcha.
But they have this energy, this playfulness.
So it's more nuanced than just saying I'm good at this.
Totally. It's like imagine saying I'm a beast in English.
Hmm,
You wouldn't just throw that around casually, would you?
probably not.
But in Spanish, it seems like these expressions are a way to really own your skills.
So there's a bit of swagger involved?
Yeah, maybe even a little swagger. I'm starting to see the smartass in Spanish now.
Exactly. It's like they're reflecting a cultural value
Mm-hmm.
of expressing your competence, but with more flair.
Yeah, you don't want to be too humble about it.
Right. And it's not all about being a rock star either.
Okay.
Look at this phrase, tengo buena mano para.
Tengo buena mano para.
It means you have a knack for something.
Oh, okay.
So it's more subtle, but still positive.
Subtlety is good.
Yeah. And of course, there's the classic, soy una máquina.
I am a machine.
You got it. You're efficient, unstoppable,
I can see myself using that one a lot, haha.
I bet. It's like saying I'm a robot when you're just cranking through work.
Right, like acknowledging your productivity, but
Yeah.
maybe also poking a little fun at yourself.
Totally. But what about when things aren't going so smoothly?
That's what I'm waiting for.
Vero doesn't shy away from those moments either.
Good. I'm all about embracing the struggle.
Yeah, and she gives you the language to do it.
Perfect. So what kind of phrases does she have for those moments?
Well, one that stands out is ser un negado.
Ser un negado.
It's pretty blunt. It means you're hopeless at something,
Oh, wow.
and it doesn't sugarcoat it.
Straight to the point.
Yeah. Now, contrast that with some of the more informal phrases,
Okay, lay it on me.
like darse con el culo.
Darse como el culo.
It literally means giving it like the ass,
Uh-huh. Oh, my.
meaning you're messing up big time.
Okay, that one's definitely not for polite company.
Right. But it shows you how language can be so expressive, even a little vulgar at times.
Yeah, sometimes you got to get a little colorful.
Exactly. It's like you're getting a crash course in Spanish humor, too.
I appreciate that.
Then there's soy un paquete.
Soy un paquete. What does that one mean?
It basically means I'm a package. You're just plain bad at something.
Okay, so it's like saying I'm a total mess.
Yeah, pretty much. And it's interesting how even negative expressions can have this almost playful quality to them.
It's like they're acknowledging the struggle but not letting it get you down.
Yeah, exactly. But of course, Vero also gives you options for those times when you need to be a bit more polite.
Of course, gotta have options.
Like, no es mi fuerte. It's not my strong suit.
That's a good one. Very diplomatic.
Right. Or, no tengo ni idea de.
That's like, I have no idea, right?
Exactly. For when you're totally clueless.
So helpful. It's nice to have that range.
Right. You're not stuck sounding like a robot in every situation.
Exactly. It's all about expressing yourself authentically.
And you know what I love about this?
What's that?
Vero doesn't just have you memorizing these phrases.
Okay, so what does she do?
She has you put them into action.
Now that's what I'm talking about. Hands-on learning.
There's this activity where learners describe a skill they have,
Oh.
and others chime in using the expressions they've just learned.
Oh, that's cool.
Can you imagine? You're not just reciting words.
Yeah.
You're actually using them.
That sounds so much more fun than just memorizing flashcards.
Right. And it's in a playful, interactive way.
I bet that really helps the language stick,
Totally. It's like she's turning the classroom into this language lab.
where you can experiment and have fun.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's a far cry from those dry textbook exercises, right?
You said it.
And speaking of bringing things to life,
Okay.
the session doesn't stop there. It moves on to expressing how you do things.
Ooh, interesting. So not just your skill level.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, I'm ready for more.
Get ready for a whole new set of colorful expressions.
Bring it on, like Sinton Nisan, for example.
Okay. Sintan Nisan.
It describes doing something randomly,
Randomly.
or without rhyme or reason.
Without rhyme or reason.
And it paints such a vivid picture. You can almost imagine someone just flailing around, doing things without any plan.
Like a bull in a china shop.
Yeah, exactly. And then there's a lo tonto y a lo bobo.
Lo tonto y a lo bobo? That's a mouthful.
It literally translates to the silly and to the foolish.
Okay.
But it's more than just being silly. It's about doing something unintentionally,
Unintentionally.
maybe naively, and ending up with unexpected consequences.
Oh, like with good intentions, but bad results.
Yeah, exactly. Think of that friend who always manages to create chaos
Without even trying.
without even trying.
Yeah.
That's a lo tonto y a lo bobo in action.
I know a few people like that.
Me too. And then we've got a maracaballo.
Okay, amata caballo.
Now, this one translates to killing horses.
Killing horses. That sounds intense.
It does, right?
Yeah.
But it's actually used to describe doing something very quickly and intensely
Okay.
without stopping for a break.
So, like working nonstop.
Yeah, exactly. Like going full speed ahead.
I wonder if that reflects something about the Spanish work ethic.
It's interesting how language can give us clues about cultural values.
Yeah. For sure.
It's like a matacaballo captures that sense of urgency,
Sense of urgency, yeah.
of pushing through to get things done.
Okay.
Now, if you want to talk about going all out,
Weigh in on me.
there's a lo loco,
A lo loco.
doing something crazy or impulsively,
Yeah.
throwing caution to the wind.
It's that YOLO energy, but in Spanish.
Exactly. And then there's a lo bestia.
A lo bestia. Okay.
Similar vibe, but it emphasizes brute force,
Brute force.
doing something with excessive energy,
Excessive energy.
almost like a wild animal.
These phrases are giving me serious FOMO.
Me too. I'm starting to think I need to brush up on my Spanish aesopia.
Yeah, same here.
Yeah.
But before we get too carried away, let's shift gears
Okay.
to those times when you're not exactly thrilled about doing something. Vero has some great expressions for that too.
Oh, I know those feelings all too well.
Yeah, like a regañadientes, for example.
A regañadientes.
It means doing something grudgingly, unwillingly.
Yeah, you can almost hear the sigh in that one, right?
Yeah, it's like doing something because you have to, not because you want to.
Exactly.
And then there's a duras penas,
Duras penas.
which means barely managing to do something.
Barely managing. Okay.
Struggling to pull it off.
I bet everyone's felt that way at some point, right?
Oh, absolutely. That feeling of pushing a boulder uphill.
Ooh, I know.
This a duras penas personified.
Yeah, perfect description.
And finally, we have de mala gana,
De mala gana. All right.
which basically means doing something with bad grace.
With bad grace.
Like you're pouting the whole time.
I can practically see the eye roll.
Right. It's like you're doing it,
Yeah.
but you're letting everyone know you're not happy about it.
Classic passive-aggressive behavior.
It's passive-aggressive, but in Spanish.
Love it.
And you know what's coming next.
We're
right?
on to awesome activity.
Yeah, another awesome activity to put these phrases into practice.
I'm already intrigued. What does Vero have up her sleeve this time? This session from Smartass in Spanish.
Yeah.
It's really got me thinking about language learning these days. You know, like how it's evolved.
way.
Well, it's like we're moving away from that rigid textbook approach.
The old school way.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And embracing something
More.
more immersive, more experiential, more FUN, frankly.
Yeah, I think that's key, right?
Absolutely. It's like we're finally realizing that language isn't just about memorizing rules and conjugations. It's about connecting with people, expressing yourself, and navigating real-life situations.
Yeah, like actually using the language.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And Vero's session, it really embodies that shift.
Yeah, I totally agree. So let's talk practical takeaways
Okay.
for our listener. So you're out there learning Spanish,
Mm-hmm.
or any language for that matter.
Good point.
How can we apply Vero's approach to our own language journey?
Well, I think the biggest lesson is to embrace the messiness.
The messiness.
Yeah, don't be afraid to make mistakes, to experiment, to find your own voice within the language.
I love that. Find your own voice.
Right. Remember those colorful idioms
Oh, yeah.
Vero introduced? Don't just memorize them. Try them out.
Put them into practice.
Exactly. See how they feel in your mouth, how people react when you use them.
Yeah, get some real-world feedback.
Right. It's like giving yourself permission
Yeah,
to play with the language, to push your boundaries a bit.
I think that's a great way to put it.
And I think that ties into another key takeaway,
What is it?
seeking out authentic experiences.
Authentic experiences.
Don't just rely on textbooks and apps. Immerse yourself in the culture.
As much as you can.
As much as you can, yeah.
How do you suggest people do that?
Well, watch movies, listen to music, chat with native speakers,
Okay.
anything that exposes you to the rhythm and the soul of the language.
The rhythm and the soul.
Yeah, you'll pick up so much more than just vocabulary and grammar.
Like what, for example?
Well, you'll start to understand the nuances,
Okay.
the humor, the cultural context.
Like-
That makes the language come alive.
Yeah, it becomes more than just words on a page.
Exactly. It's like the difference between reading about a place
Yeah.
and actually traveling there.
Oh, I get it.
You get a whole different perspective when you experience it firsthand.
Makes sense.
And I think this session from Smartass in Spanish, it's like a mini cultural immersion experience.
A mini cultural immersion experience.
It gives you a taste of the real life language, the
Yeah.
humor, the cultural values that you might not get from a traditional textbook.
It's like a sneak peek.
Exactly. It's like Vero saying, come on, let's explore the world of Spanish together. I'll show you the cool spots, the secret phrases, the ways of speaking that will make you feel like a local.
I love that.
And I think that's an invitation worth accepting,
Definitely.
whether you're a seasoned language learner or just starting out.
So as we wrap up our deep dive, I want to leave our listener with one final thought.
Okay, I'm listening.
We've spent this episode exploring a specific session from a specific course, but it's really just a starting point.
A starting point.
The world of language learning
Yeah.
is vast and exciting, with endless possibilities for exploration and discovery.
So true.
So our challenge to you, dear listener, is this. What sparks your curiosity?
Ooh, good question.
What language or culture
Mhm.
do you want to dive into? What learning approaches do you want to experiment with?
Yeah, don't be afraid to step outside your comfort zone, to embrace the messiness, and to find your own unique path in the world of language.
I love that.
Who knows, maybe you'll even discover your inner smartass along the way.
Your inner smartass. I love it. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into the world of smartass in Spanish.
It's been a blast.
We'll be back soon with more fascinating explorations of knowledge and ideas. Until then, keep learning, keep questioning, and keep diving deep.